Alright, hey guys, welcome to the Great Conjunction video. If you want to know more about this great Saturn-Jupiter conjunction that we got going on the 21st, which is tomorrow. I'm recording this the day before. Go figure. Anyways, if you want to know more about that, stay tuned. So you're here to learn about the Great Conjunction. Well, between Saturn and Jupiter, when they meet in a new sign, in a new element, this marks the dawning of a new age. And well, now we're moving from an age of Capricorn, which has lasted for 200 years. So think of Capricorn as like the builder, as Saturn, as the thing that wants to just slowly grow and create something over time. Because Saturn rules time. Saturn is Chronos in the mythology. And if you consider that, you think of what was happening during this last 200 years. Well, we had Industrial Revolution, we had all this like, building up of infrastructure. Well, we're probably not going to see so much building now. We're going to see more of an Aquarius vibe, a more air vibe. So when you think of air, you think communication, you think internet, you think traveling, because it's air, and air is the element of the mind as well. So a lot of thinking, a lot of intellect, a lot of research and study, and just major communication all across the world. And we're entering into this new age. So this is a very powerful time for all of us. And I'm going to get into what it means for each one of your signs. And so a little bit more history on this whole thing. Basically, this happens every 200 years where Jupiter and Saturn will meet in a sign, and then it'll be hitting in that sign and in each of the triplicities, each of the same element, for the next 200 years. So it'll be in Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, and it'll just keep hitting those three for 200 years. And then once that cycle's complete, then it'll move on to the next element. And we haven't been in air for 600 years. So this is kind of a big deal. So yeah, let's get into this. All right, so you can consider your moon, your rising sign, and your sun sign in this. So if you want to collect a combination of all of them just to kind of see where you're going to be at, that would be a good practice. Now, I usually go by rising sign in my astrology videos, so if you're used to doing that already, then you're on your way. But knowing your moon sign is also very beneficial here, because your moon sign will dictate your emotions in relation to this, and then your sun sign will dictate sort of like your career and your visible place, and then your rising sign will be like your life's purpose in this time. Like, your rising sign is usually the place of the self, of how you express yourself, and basically your physical body as well. So what you're doing in the world. So Aries, sun, moon, or rising. Now this is a very interesting time for you because, I got my notes here. I'm going to look at them. So this is moving from your 10th house, which is the house of career, reputation, and also it can mean marriages as well. Generally just like the career actions, because anything that makes you visible. This is the highest point in the chart. This is usually where people's midheavens are, and like what you're kind of like destined to do. So we're moving from a Saturn space inside your 10th house, which Saturn likes to restrict whatever sign it's in. It likes to take its time and really build up whatever it's trying to do, and it's been in this sign for 2.5 years now. So this is time to move past that. And the cool thing about Saturn, when it's done in a sign, especially in its home sign of Capricorn, is it likes to reward you with something. So if you've been working really hard on developing some sort of career, you've been like working on anything to do with your career, maybe you were educating yourself and now you're trying to get into a career but you found it very hard. Well, after we move into this energy, which by the time you watch this video we will have already, you'll notice that things actually start to fall into place a little bit faster, because not only does Saturn like to reward you for all your hard work, but now we're moving for you, Aries, into the house of hopes and wishes, of friendships, of long-term plans. And this is bringing a whole new age for you. So this means Aries, that delays in career, like say you've been having trouble integrating something in a partnership or a business or something, it just felt like it hasn't popped off until now, and you've like not by any fault of your own, but it has been difficult to get up to this point, and your work will be rewarded in the end. Don't worry. So yeah, let's move into what it actually means as moving into the energy for, so in the 11th house. 11th house is a signifier of hopes, dreams, wishes, also social events, social gatherings, friendships, community. This is an Aquarian house by normal definition. It is the star. It is what we're aiming towards. This is why it rules all those things. And Aries, you in this sign, all your energy here, especially with like Saturn and Jupiter likes to make things bigger, right? And so for this, especially this first year of this 20-year cycle, because this is going to last for 20 years for you in this sign, this kind of energy is going to be going on because we're going to keep on having these conjunctions in the same sign. So as we continue with this, you're actually going to be the leaders. People are going to look to you as the leaders of groups, of friendships. Like people are going to look for you or look to you for information about like where to go. We're going to use your like Aries energy to figure out what the heck we want to do. So basically people will be looking to you for advice, especially since you just came out of the Capricorn era of like all that hard work. People are going to want to know, especially Taurus, who is coming in after you with this. You'll be able to spread a lot of good information to your Taurus friends here. What else have we got? Basically, you're going to be the social leaders. You're going to be the people who be like you're going to be like the kind of, I wouldn't say the politicians, but I would say you're the figurehead. You're going to basically be elected to be the face of a company or like the face of some sort of group in order to get some sort of, you know, something off the ground, get more information out there, spread it through friendship groups, through societal groups, through different sort of things in general, you know? Because yeah, you have done the hard work. You have done the hard work in the 10th house of like really just doing everything that you had to do, and now you can actually get rewarded for it, and the world will get rewarded by you for it as well. And yeah, I think that's it for okay. Anyway, that's it for you, Aries. Once again, if you want to know any more information, check out your moon or your sun, moon, or rising sign. There will be more information there. You get more of a clear picture. I will be doing a tarot reading later this month. I am currently moving, so it is a little bit of a tough time. This background will no longer be the same, and yeah, we're moving forward. All right, well, I hope you enjoy the rest of this, or if you enjoyed this, well, take care. Taurus, what is up, Taurus? I hope you're doing awesome. Okay, so this is for Taurus sun, moon, or rising. I mainly do for rising signs, but you can also use your sun sign if you're looking for your career, or your moon sign if you're looking for the emotional standpoint. So it's a good idea to look at all three throughout this. I will timestamp it down below just for your reference. But yeah, Taurus, you are moving from a 9th house cycle. Now, this has been a cycle for the last 2.5 years. So you've been probably working really hard at, you know, educating yourself, changing your belief structures, your philosophies, and just generally higher education and like learning more about the world from a different perspective. Not so much like the 3rd house where it's like just learning new skills, but this is actually like deep knowledge that you're really getting into. This is like yogis, masters, teachers, all that kind of energy is in the 9th house. And the lessons that you've been learning here is like, what do you need to believe in? You've been doing this hard work, and Saturn likes to like pay off anyone coming out of a Capricorn energy, because Saturn is in its home sign in Capricorn. So if you've really done the work and you've been studying, you've been like changing your belief structures, and you've really been questioning everything, because that's what the 9th house is, this could indicate that you have been, I mean, that you will be rewarded This could come in the realm of like travel. Like, I know we're in a pandemic or whatever, but Taurus, you have done the work in the ninth house. The ninth house is about foreign travel, about foreign places, maybe even foreign people. So you could be meeting with people online. I mean, that's one thing, but it will help you as you move into this next phase, which is the 10th house. Now, the 10th house is the house of career. Now, this is going to be a really big focus for you over the next 20 years, especially over this first year, rather. And this is interesting because for this first year, Jupiter will be with Saturn in Aquarius, and this is a time for you that it is about your career. It's about being visible. It's about taking what you've learned in the ninth house, all those belief structures, and now taking it from that kind of more hidden area of the ninth house and pushing it out into the more visible. And in the more visible area, we're going to be looking to Taurus for the wisdom when it comes to how do we actually make a career? What do we do? How do we make it happen? And we can always use the wisdom of Aries, because Aries just went through it if we are really struggling. Also, as far as stuff happening in the ninth house, there could actually have been legal issues that have been really hard, because Saturn likes to restrict any energy that it comes in contact with. So Saturn has been in your ninth house, and so like this could have been, if there's any legal things that have been going on, like divorce or just long litigations that have been just taking forever, just dragging on, well, you'll soon see those are resolved as well. Now, Taurus, you will be in a position of authority coming up here, and you will discover what that actually means. You may not know what it is now, but as we travel through this first year, you will understand what it means to be in a position of authority. People are going to be looking to you for your wisdom and for your drive. These kind of things are interesting because it'll actually just come up out of almost nowhere. There'll just be positions available to you. So capitalize on that. You work with it, because this is kind of like what you're destined to do here. So if you can work with it, alchemize it, just step into that position of power. I know it's maybe not the easiest place to be in, but it is a very good place for you coming up. Like, this is the next 20 years. You guys are going to be the ones to come to for leadership and in like positions of power. What else we got here? So Saturn will be square your ascendant. So that just means that you'll have to be doing a lot of organizational work. And it's just part of the game. I mean, if you're going to be a world leader or something, you're going to have to be organized, but that's okay. You're probably good at it anyways. Might just take you a little while to get started, but that's okay. All right. Well, that's all I got for you, Taurus. If you have any more interest in learning more about this, check out your sun, moon, or rising sign if this is just one of them. And of course, as always, I'm available for astrology readings as well. So if you feel like that, links down below. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your 2021. Take care. Gemini, what is up, my gems? I'm a Gemini sun, so this is also very pertinent for me. So Gemini, we are moving from the 8th house. The 8th house is the Scorpio house, typically. So Scorpio is the sign of death, inheritance, and transformation, and like other people's money and stuff. So you could have actually felt a lot of restriction in this area over the past 2.5 years, just because this is like, Saturn wants you to really focus and work on whatever it's in. That's why it takes so long to go through, but it is still one of the personal planets. So with Saturn in that house, you could have seen a lot of slowing down of legal affairs, because the 8th house has somewhat to do with legal affairs, especially like if there's anything to do with assets or inheritance. Maybe you've been stuck in some sort of legal battle with that and you're trying to figure that out, and now as we move into this conjunction energy and into 2021, those things will actually figure themselves out. Now Gemini, you've been stuck in this energy of like complete self-transformation. Maybe you've changed careers. All right, Gemini, so you have been in this 2.5 years of self-transformation. If this is your sun sign, well, this is, your visible light. This is who you are. So maybe you've completely changed who you are and that is this deep cycle of transformation. If it's your moon sign, you've completely changed how you feel about things. This is Scorpio. It goes really deep and goes into those places where other people can't go. So if that's your moon sign, then yeah, you've been doing a lot of deep work. And this also has to do with sexual energy. So if you've been a little bit repressed sexually or anything, this energy is actually allowing you to be more free going forward. And that is a great thing. It's a great thing to be inhibited. The sexual energy just it's allowed to flow a little bit more now that Saturn's out. And the cool thing about Saturn is when it's in its home sign and it's leaving, you actually get a gift of whatever that sign represents. And this represents other people's money. This represents debt and death. So think of it like that inheritance finally pops through, and then you get to inherit all that money, or maybe there's some sort of tax break that allows you to take a vacation or something that you really needed. Finally a reward for all this hard work you've been doing. This could also be a big relief as far as your financial issues go in general. Like maybe you've been just struggling to pay bills or something, and now 2021 rolls around and you're good, and you just like, wow, that last 2.5 years really sucked. But now it's moving out. So yeah, now we're going to go into what is happening after this conjunction. So this is going to be for the next year and for the next 20 years. It's going to be really important for this next year because Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter will be in the same sign together. As they conjunct, Jupiter will begin to drift away from Saturn, but it'll be here for the next year. So what is interesting about this is that you will be moving into a 9th house. And the 9th house represents higher knowledge, higher learning, teachers, foreign affairs, and anything to do with this, like being a leader in that sort of field. So you've done the hard work going inside, but now it's time to be a teacher, to be out in the front lines and be like, hey, let's talk about all these philosophical things. Let's talk about all these deep things. Like the 9th house is also the occult. So anything like, say you're getting more into like witchcraft or heck, research stuff like quantum physics, like this is a huge range of topics and it's all very high intellectual. So you'll be actually the ones to look at this energy and be like, hey, I am a research scientist and I can get into this stuff. I'm a quantum physicist and like this is just who I am now, and people will be looking at you for this information. And it can really be about anything, because this is higher knowledge, and higher knowledge can really be about any sort of topic. But in general, you will be the teachers of the world. So that is very fun, and yeah, embrace it. You may not know where that energy is going to happen yet, but over this next year, you will discover what that means, and just whatever it is, just go for it, because that's the energy that's going to propel you for the next 20 years. As we move into this new energy, you're probably going to get an epiphany of what to do. Like, it's just going to happen, and then you just got to go for it. Jupiter and Saturn in this house generally talk about clarity. Finally having a clear vision of what actually needs to happen for other people, for yourself, for just general knowledge. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be a very good time for you. I mean, it is the dawning of a new age, which is exciting for everyone. So yeah, embrace it. And if this resonated with you, let me know. And if you want to know more and this year's jumping in, well, check out your sun, rising, or moon sign, and that will give you a little bit more information. Combine the three, and you get a really good picture of where you're headed for the next 20 years. All right, Cancer, what is up, my Cancers? What is happening? I hope you're doing awesome. All right, let's get into this. So Saturn has been in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships for the last 2.5 years. It's been brutal. If you've been having relationship issues time after time, well, this is why. Now we're finally moving past that. And if you've been doing the hard work, because Saturn likes to reward the people who actually do the work. So if you've been digging deep into yourself, you've been trying to figure out what is actually going on in the relationship, maybe it's not a problem in the relationship, maybe it's just a problem in communication or how you view things or how they view things, because this is all about partnerships. This is the other, this is the 7th house, and you've been in this energy this whole time, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you've done the work, well, Saturn, after being in its home sign of Capricorn, well, it likes to reward you with something. So say if you've been in a say you're in a long-term relationship, a marriage, it may have been really hard. Maybe your partner's been going through a lot, because generally this is about the partner. So maybe you've been having a lot of trouble with your partner, but maybe you find that over the next year, all of a sudden things get so much better. Maybe they get a raise at work. Maybe they're a little bit more available to actually be in the relationship with you. So this is very positive energy. This is the reward for all the hard work, for struggling through it, because Saturn likes to make you struggle. It really does. And so yeah, that's awesome. And now we're moving from a place of just like emotional struggle, with related to other people, and now Saturn's going to give us the gift of that sort of like easy feeling, that lighter feeling, because we're moving from a dense earth element into air. So now we're going to get this kind of like this breeze of relationships, which is interesting, because yeah, Saturn is not really, it likes to restrict things, but when it moves into this new sign, it's going to be like, oh hey, a new relationship that is perfect all of a sudden pops up. Or yeah, like I said before, like maybe your husband or wife, like things just all of a sudden pick up for them. And it can happen really fast, but over this next year, you're going to see how, or actually in the next probably few months through a year, you're probably going to see how this energy is going to play out, and it might actually be a very good thing for you. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, we're moving into a 20-year cycle. This is the exciting part. So Cancer, you are rolling into the 8th house. Finally out of the 7th house, I'm just saying. But moving into the 8th house, this is the house of Scorpio. This is a very powerful house. This is a house about going deeper into the self, deeper into others, deeper into like psychology, and just understanding the mechanism of how everything works in the world. And you're going to be looked at for counselors, psychologists, researchers, depth psychologists, like occult practitioners, astrologers, anybody. Like, you are going to be the person who people come to for information. And I mean, if this channel's anything to go by, I'm a Cancer rising, so I mean, it kind of makes sense. I've been feeling it for a while. But yeah, this is a really amazing energy, and you're going to be the ones that people come to, like with their deep problems that nobody else can figure out, or that people don't feel comfortable enough to talk about with anybody else. But for you, it just kind of happens, because that's what you're destined to do. Now, you may not actually know what you're going to do over this next year, but it'll probably come to you, because Jupiter and Saturn are together. So Jupiter wants to make things bigger. It's very generous, and it wants to give you what you need. And Saturn is there being like, I want to build something. So Saturn and Jupiter together, that's like, I'm going to build something great, and that is going to propel you forward through the next 20 years, which is phenomenal. So yeah, if you don't know what you're doing yet, it's okay. You'll figure it out. And yeah, let's see, what have we got for notes? So the 8th house also represents sexual energy. So if you've been like a little bit repressed in the last little bit because of your partnerships, expect that to change. Expect deep emotional relationships to actually be a lot easier with this placement. You may actually find that you're working through a lot more traumas, like the deeper things that you have, maybe you've been pushing aside, that those will start coming up, and you can actually start transmuting them and changing them, healing them, and using those skills that you learned with yourself and actually able to help others, which is an amazing thing. I highly recommend that. What else we got? Basically, yeah, it's going to be about shadow work, magic, psychology, anything like that, anything kind of taboo. It's going to be your jam, Cancer. Also, if you have anything to do with like taxes, other people's money, those issues will be coming up as well. Also, inheritance is very possible at this time, or at least starting to talk about it. But with Jupiter, it is very possible. I don't know if you're expecting that. Generally, this house is the house of transformation. They say death in the ancient astrology, but death, what is death? Death is transformation. It's transformation from one state to another, and this is you're going to be transformed into one state into another. This is your life is going to change completely over this next year. So yeah, you may not even recognize yourself. Which isn't a bad thing, but I mean, you're going to be doing the work, so I mean, you're obviously going to have a good representation of who you are, of course, but you know, moving forward is going to be very interesting. All right, well, if you enjoyed this, let me know, and if you want to know more, about yourself, then check out your moon, sun, or rising sign if this is your rising sign. So yeah, check it out, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one. All right, Leos, what is up, Leos? I hope you're doing amazing, and yeah, well, you're finally getting out of that 6th house energy. Like, you've been working on the lifestyle. You've been trying to, you know, fix your body and like eat healthy things. Maybe you haven't actually been having a lot of progress with it. Maybe you can't lose those last 10 pounds or something that you really want to do. Well, the good thing about actually doing the work and really putting in the effort during this last 2.5 years, well, once now that Saturn has moved out of Capricorn, you're gonna actually get those rewards. All of a sudden, it's gonna be so much easier to lose that weight, to get healthier. You're gonna feel so much more vital and just feel amazing. Now, the 6th house also represents work. So if you've been working really hard, maybe you'll get a reward from your job, or maybe you started a company or something in this time, and maybe this is actually where you'll get a lot of the reward, because we're gonna be moving into the sign, the 7th house, I should say. And the 7th house represents partnerships. Now, this is going to be a big deal for you, Leo, because like you've been stuck in this kind of like servitude role. In this, the 6th house is a very Virgo energy, very serving role. So when you move out of that energy, now you're gonna be finally like have your light back again, Leo. You're gonna be back in the spotlight. I mean, it's going to be your 7th house. Other people around you are going to have the spotlight as well, just because of the nature of it. But you will be there with them. You will be able to be a leader in that sense. People will look to you maybe for relationship advice, maybe for health advice, because you just went through that whole thing with your health. And over the next year, you're probably going to notice that you're going to get a lot more clients, just because the 7th house represents partnerships, and this is business partnerships or romantic partnerships. So if you've been really trying to get a partner or something, maybe this is your time, or maybe that person that you've always wanted to meet all of a sudden pops onto the scene, and you know, maybe you can get stuff rolling, because whatever happens in the next year, this is what's going to propel you for the next 20 years. So it's actually pretty exciting. But don't worry if you don't know what's going to happen yet. None of us really do. But if you do have an idea, just go for it, and just trust in the universe that it's going to take you into a new place, because this is the age of Aquarius, well, the precursor to the age of Aquarius, where truth and authenticity is going to reign supreme. So if you can be as authentic as you can, be truthful as you can, you're going to be just fine, Leo. And yeah, so this next 20 years is going to be based on your friendships, your partnerships, your lovers. This is what it's going to be about. But this is also where you get to shine. You get to do the one-on-one, or like, you know, the many on one, or whatever your thing is. This is a good time for you. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a reading. If you are interested in learning more about your chart, let me know. I would love to do a chart for you. And yeah, I hope you glean some information from this. Check out your moon or sun or rising sign to get a more full picture of what is actually going to be going on for you for this 2021 and beyond. All right, Leo. Take care. All right, Virgo, what is up? I hope you're doing awesome. I'm doing pretty good myself. Thank you for asking. So yeah, let's get into what's been going on. So you've had Saturn in your 5th house. The 5th house is about like, okay, well, first of all, Saturn likes to restrict whatever it's in for like that's a thing. So Saturn has been in your fifth house. So the fifth house is your creativity, your sexual energy, your children as well. If you have any children, you've been having issues with them, maybe that's actually going to get resolved very soon, just because of the nature of the fifth house and Saturn. So also Saturn likes to restrict whatever house it's in. So yeah, like I just said that. What am I doing? Anyway. So when Saturn leaves Capricorn, because Capricorn is its home sign, it likes to reward you with whatever you've been actually working on for that time. If you've been working really hard on, being creative, creating new things, working hard with your children, or just being feeling like a sexually liberated person, actually like doing that hard work with yourself, to feel that sort of liberation, then well, you're actually going to get rewarded with this at the end of this cycle, which is now. And you'll notice that over the next year, and like those things will actually start to trickle into your life, and you'll start to feel a lot more relief when it comes to that. Well, Virgo, this is a fun time because you're going to be Saturn is going to be in your sixth house, and the sixth house is your house. So Virgo, this is going to be a time for serving others. You're going to be you're going to be the person that people go to learn about how to like take care of themselves. You're going to be like guides and coaches. You're also going to be you're going to be changing the way that institutions like to work as well. Like you're going to revamp things, because the 6th house and the 12th house are kind of like the same kind of energy, just like different. So Virgo, you're going to be taking care of things that require a lot of like problem solving and fixing things. And this could be in the medical industry. This could be in lifestyle, nutrition, science, health, like research scientists. Like that's a big thing. So you will have had a lot of major lessons in personal growth, development, sexual energy, self-expression, and all that difficulty in those areas are going to be going away now, which is awesome. And you're going to actually get into this new energy of the 6th house, and it's going to be very good for you, Virgo. Like it's gonna be really good, and everybody's moving into a new, brighter future, and you are definitely one of them in like the home sign of Virgo. So you'll feel very comfortable here, very able to fix problems and to go forward and feel like you actually belong, and people will be looking to you for these answers, for these solutions. So yeah, if you like this, please let me know, and if you want no more information, check out your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on what you chose this time. And yeah, let me know how it works, and if you want a private reading, I always do those as well. I am moving currently, so I may not get back to you right away. So yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Libra, I hope you're doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Anyways, let's go into what has been going on for you. I mean, you've been in the 4th house. Like Saturn has been in your fourth house for the last 2.5 years. And I know some Libras. I know that issues with the 4th house have been very prevalent. The 4th house is your home. It is your emotions. It is your house. It is your land. All right. This house is your house. I mean, it's the house of houses. So Saturn in this house likes to restrict things, likes to make things a little bit difficult. Also, the 4th house represents parents as well. So if you've been having any issues with your parents, that could be actually clearing up going forward. Now, the way that Saturn likes to do things is it likes to slow down and restrict you, but then when it's in its home sign of Capricorn, it likes to take that restriction, really put the pressure on for like a while, at 2.5 years, and then bam, at the end, there's going to be a reward for that. Like if you've done the work, if you've actually done the work, done the emotional work, done the work around your home, actually put in the time, done the effort, Saturn likes to reward you. This could come in the way of just an emotional sort of, a lightheartedness, an emotional uplifting. This could be, maybe you move homes, because I know that's happening for a couple Libras I know. And this could be just a radical change with your parents, like maybe like all this energy that's been pressure on you to figure out over the last couple years. Well, now that's going to be off. That's going to be on somebody else now. So that's really great. So you're going to feel a reward after all of this, which is very good. Now we're going to be moving into the house of the fifth house. So the fifth house is it's an energy of. So now we're going to be moving into the fifth house. Now this Saturn moving into the fifth house with Jupiter especially, this is marking like the start of a 20-year cycle. Now the first year is going to be really important because this is going to be talking about you discovering your ability for self-expression, your artistic nature. You're going to be picking up new skills related to, you know, creating media or being open sexually or whatever fifth house sort of thing. This also represents children, so maybe children are on the docket. Maybe you've been trying but couldn't. Now might be the time. So yeah, this is a very interesting placement. And your place in all of this, because there is a societal sort of structure now that's shifting, because that's what this whole Saturn conjunction represents. It's a societal shift. We're in a new cycle now. So Libras, you're going to be the ones, you're going to be the politicians. You're going to be the artists. You're going to be the celebrities and performers. Like, you're going to be using that raw energy that you have, that creative energy, in order to change the world. And people are going to be looking to you for that. You're like, look how many famous Libras there are. There's awesome. There's a bunch of them. So yeah, this is going to be, I'm just looking at this. This is going to be a great reward for you. Like, you're going to be very successful from this. And obviously go with passion, because that's what the fifth house is all about. It's about passion. So make sure you're using passion in whatever you're doing. If it doesn't align with you at all, if you don't feel like it's working, don't do it. Like, that's not what this is about. This is about freedom of expression and getting yourself out there. These are like reporters. These are the people who go out there and like do the things, you know? These are people, like, you're going to have the spotlight on you, because everybody wants that energy, that fifth house energy, all right? So yeah, this is just moving away from restrictions about the house. And so yeah, all this pressure that you've been feeling, it's gonna go away. So don't worry about that. All right, Libra, well, that's all I got for you for this time. If you want a private reading, let me know. Or, check out your tarot cards. Of course, I'm going to be slowing down on those just while I'm moving house, because I live with a Libra and she's moving and we're moving and selling this house. So it's true, man. Astrology is very accurate. It's funny like that. Anyways, so if you want more information, check out your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on what you chose this time. And yeah, form a full picture of yourself and figure out what's going on. I'd love to work with you in any case. So yeah. Anyway, take care. I hope you have a good one. See you later. All right, Scorpio. What is up, my Scorpios? I hope you're doing awesome, fantastic, amazing, all that stuff. You're awesome. Anyway, Scorpio, so Saturn has been in your third house for the last 2.5 years. Now, you've probably been working really hard at developing your skills. Maybe just you've been doing a lot of like short distance travel, maybe for work or something. And Saturn, whenever it's in a house, it likes to restrict things. So like the third house is about mastery. It's about, figuring out all those different little skills in order to get the job or whatever. Well, Saturn kind of delays those rewards. It is definitely the planet of delayed rewards. But as Saturn moves out of Capricorn, its home sign, it will reward you with the thing that you've worked so hard on. Like, that's the thing. Like, Saturn is not just a bad planet. It's just it makes you really work for it, and then pop, you get the good thing. So that is coming for you. So maybe you're actually going to get a job soon, like that you went to school for, or maybe you just have mastered something to the point where it's like you don't need to focus on mastering it anymore. You can just do it. And that will be helpful for you as you move into the fourth house. Now, the fourth house is about land. It's about real estate. It's about your emotional center. So wherever you call home, because the fourth house is at the bottom of the chart. It is it's the opposite of the 10th house. So it is at the very bottom. It's the IC. So this kind of energy is like, it's the deepest point. All right. This is where you're going to find your home, where you're going to find that place to call yours. And you may actually find that over this next year. It may be a very transformative year for you in regarding to home. This house also represents the parents, and yeah, just like emotions and land and like your home, and like it's mainly about the home, and it's about your emotional center. Anyways, so if you're looking at this from like a moon place, then it would be about your emotions. If you're looking at it from a sun place, well, if you're looking in like a career sense, well, this is definitely about like family, land, emotional issues, old people as well, and or catering even, because the fourth house is about like can be about serving people. So yeah, also like any problems that you've been having as far as like, you know, relocating or traveling or transportation issues, communication issues, because that was all third house stuff, those issues will all be going away as well. So that is probably a relief to you. It's probably felt like you've been in a 3-year Mercury retrograde or something just because of that energy. All right, Scorpio, well, that's all I got for you this time. Check out your sun, moon, or rising sign depending on what you chose, and I'm always available for chart interpretations and consultations as well. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and check out the rest, and I'll see you next time. All right, what is up, Sagittarius? I hope you're doing amazing. I'm doing amazing too, thank you. Yeah, anyways, let's go into this. So you are moving from the second house to the third house. This is where Saturn is moving right now, and this is going to be a major thing because we're moving from a restrictive place. Saturn likes to restrict whatever it's in. Now Saturn for you has been in the second house. The second house is about your personal finances. It's about your wealth. It's about also your personal value, like how you value yourself. It also represents food. So Sagittarius, if you have been having any issues in these areas, well, Saturn has been restricting this. But as Saturn moves into, or rather out of Capricorn, its home sign, you're going to be rewarded with all the hard work that you've done. Say you started a business, but the business has been really slow. Well, as we move into 2021, you're going to notice your business is all of a sudden popping off because you don't have that restriction in that house anymore, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is a lot of a really good energy. Yeah, all those things I mentioned before. I think that's it as far as the second house goes. So let's talk about the third house. Now, the third house is the house of communication. It is a Gemini house. It is about communication, transportation, writing, talking, also developing new skills and mastering those skills. It is basically like, if you think of the third house as like basic skills, and then the ninth house as like advanced learning, like philosophy. So this is like the very grounded, practical, with your hands or with your mouth, communicating, working in the world. And this is the energy that you'll be stepping into. So the third house is really about self-expression and getting whatever you feel out into the world and expressing what you've learned. And so you may actually find that, like, when you first start off this year, especially this 2021, it's going to be really important because Jupiter and Saturn will be in the same sign, which make it a little bit bigger, a little bit more jovial, a little, you know, just a little extra, you know? So yeah, this energy is very good. So you may actually find over this year that you may find some sort of ability or talent that you didn't know you had, that you all of a sudden start working on, that will generate skills, generate profit, and generate just an immense amount of inspiration, really, going forward. So for the 20-year cycle here, what we're talking about is Sagittariuses are going to be all about that self-made wealth. Like, they're going to be the entrepreneurs. This isn't about stock markets and stuff. I mean, that's pretty old stuff. This is talking about like new money, like creating your own sort of thing. So Sagittarius, you are the people to be watching as far as how to make money, which is fantastic because you've learned all the lessons. You just went through this 2.5 years of like figuring stuff out, but now you're going to be able to project yourself forward into the future in a very powerful way. Also, if this is your moon sign, the last 7 years has been really tough, like really tough, and now you're actually getting out of that, which is fantastic. So kudos to you for getting through that. It just means your rewards are going to be all that much more sweet. All right, so that's fantastic. All right, what else we got for you? I think that's about it. That's all I got for you for now. If you want to check out your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on what you chose this time, I'd recommend it so you get a more full picture of what actually is going to be going on for this next year. And yeah, I'm always available for astrology consultations or tarot readings if you're into that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. All right, Capricorn, you did it. You got through it. Capricorns. Just wow. Just wow. You did it. That was tough. That was the last few years. Oof. It has been tough, but you did it. You made the changes. You did the work. Regardless of whether you feel like you actually did the work or not, you did the work. Like, you actually really did the work. So kudos. You're moving out of this energy now. Thank goodness you're moving out of this energy, because wow, what a humdinger. Like, seriously. You had to recreate yourself over this last couple years. That's hard. It's hard to recreate yourself, but you've done that. You've completely changed who you are. In some regard, you've radically changed everything. And now, as Saturn moves out of its home sign of Capricorn, your home sign, you're going to get rewarded for that. That is, like, Saturn is not a planet that doesn't give out rewards. Like, it's not some asshole planet. Like, it wants to reward you, but it just wants to delay those rewards. And now you're actually going to be coming into a position where you can enjoy them. You're moving into the second house. The second house is about money. Capricorn, it's about money. It's your favorite thing. So yeah, Capricorn, this is amazing placement for you, because we're going to be moving into this period of the second house, and this first year of 2021 is going to be amazing. Jupiter is going to be here as well in your second house. So yeah, money is going to start flowing in for you. People are going to be looking to you for financial advice, because, like, you know what's going on. You're going to have your finger on the pulse. So yeah, this is going to be awesome for you. There's not going to be a whole lot more of, like, this personal crisis going on, which is fantastic. You're actually going to be focused on your self-worth, your value, your money that you're generating, and also good food. Like, maybe it's time to actually, it is time, Capricorn, to eat some goddamn good food. All right, this is your time. Enjoy it. So yeah, I think, yeah, this is finances. This is resources. This is stability. Capricorn, I know you like stability. So this is stability coming in for you. This is awesome. And these can also be groups, like helping people. Like, people are going to be coming to you for information. So maybe you start like a YouTube or something, or just start, giving out more information, because we're moving into the age of Aquarius, and the age of Aquarius is all about internet. It's all about communication. It's an air sign. So yeah, you spread it far and wide. I know you got the ability. You can do anything, especially after this last few years. So yeah, I think that's all I got for you. I mean, how much more do you need? It's going to be good anyways. All right, Capricorn. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If this is your sun, moon, or rising, check out your other signs to get a more full picture. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, if you want a reading done by me, astrology or tarot, by all means, hit me up on my website. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. All right, Aquarius. What is up, Aquarius? I hope you're doing fantastic. So it's your time to shine. It is your time to shine. You are Aquarius. You were born during this time for a reason. You incarnated on this planet, came from wherever the hell you came from, Aquarius, came here to be here now, to be in this dawning of the age of Aquarius. Like, we're not in the Yuga of Aquarius yet. We're just in this first, like, 200-year cycle. This first 20-year cycle. But then this is like the precursor to the next, like, 2,000 years. All right. I mean, you'll probably still be around, really, just in a different body or something. But you're here now for a reason. So let's get into this. So you've been in the 12th house. The 12th house is tough. This 12th house is about mental health. It's about going deep into the rubble of your personality, of your being and your essence. And just like being like, nope, don't need this, throwing this away. What is that? Trauma? Like, and just like letting everything go. And you're moving into this new age, and you're going to be the ones that people are going to be looking at for inspiration. You're going to be the ones coming in being like, I have this feeling that it's going to be this way. And guess what? You're going to be right. Trust your intuition coming into this. This is the age of truth and authenticity. We need you to be you, all right? So don't doubt yourself coming up. Like, things are gonna, you've gone through a self-transformation already, but this year coming up is going to be a pivotal year for you. You're gonna discover all these new skills that you didn't know you had. Maybe you just pick something up randomly. You become inspired. go after it. Go with that inspiration. It's going to launch you into the next 20 years. And it's going to be a very beneficial thing for you. And Aquarius, this is a time for you to take responsibility. Responsibility sounds tough, of course, but responsibility is an amazing thing. You're going to be actually the ones who can facilitate the changes. We're going to go through this great economic reset or something, and you guys will be the ones who are going to be like, hey, maybe we should actually do it this way. Maybe we should change the way things are structured in order to make things fair for everyone else. Because Aquarius, you're all about helping everybody. Like, you're the typical 11th house. You are like the wish fulfillers. You are the community people. So yeah, people are going to be looking at you to lead communities. Like, you are going to be the one to help move us forward from a societal standpoint, from a socioeconomic standpoint, from like, you know, a place where like helping, we're going to build a utopia, all right? And it's up to you to guide us there. So yeah, after you've come through this energy, you've basically lost yourself. Now you're rebuilding yourself. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, Aquarius. Now, if you want to check out your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on what you chose this time, I highly recommend it to get a more full picture of what's actually going on, unless you're a triple Aquarius, which would be pretty wild. I want to have a conversation with you if you're a triple Aquarius. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope fantastic 2021, because it's not going to get worse than it was. Like, this is the thing. It's going to change. Everything is going to change because we're moving into a literal 200-year cycle that we've never experienced before. So yeah, shit's going to be different. It's not going back to the same way it was. And do we really want it to anyways? Like, come on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, if you, like I said, check out your other signs. And if you want a free read, or not a free reading, but if you want a reading from me, tarot or astrology, they're on my website. Check that out. And yeah, I'd love to hear more about you. Anyway. See you later, Aquarius. All right, Pisces. What is up, Pisces? I hope you've been doing amazing, and I hope you are amazing. I know you're amazing. You're amazing. You're Pisces. All right, so let's get into this. So Saturn has been in your 11th house. Now, the 11th house is about friendships. It's about community. It's about your long-term plans and your ideas for how things should be. Now, Saturn's been there. Saturn likes to restrict whatever it's been in. And this energy of Saturn in your 11th house, well, maybe your friendships have been restricted. But if you've been doing the work, if you've been building community regardless of any sort of restriction in your life, well, you're probably going to benefit from this going forward, because Saturn likes to reward, especially coming out of Capricorn, its home sign. So if you've been working really hard on everything, maybe you finally find a friend group that all of a sudden just clicks for you, and you can actually continue with that, and that will propel you going forward. Because yeah, Saturn isn't a, I mean, it's traditionally a malefic planet, but it's not a planet. It's not an asshole planet. It just prolongs the reward until it gets out of the whatever sign it's in. So with that being said, let's see what sign it's going into. Okay, so Saturn moving into the 12th house is about cleaning up this trash. Clean up the trash that's in here, the stuff that you don't need, the stuff that is holding you down. It's time to get rid of all of that. Strip yourself down to who you really are as a core, as a Pisces, and build from there, because we're moving into this cycle. You're going to be the ones that are going to cause the most like structural reform. Like, think hospital reformation, think I don't know, prison reformation, anything that has to do with an institution. You're going to be the ones that are going to change things to make them better, healthier, make them more akin to actual like rehabilitation. This also has to do with foreign affairs. So you may actually be doing some traveling, Pisces, which I know in the pandemic doesn't really seem right, but maybe it is for work coming up. So that is very interesting. So people are going to be coming to you for direction when it comes to anything 12th house related. So this is like subconscious stuff. This is the occult. This is psychology. This is also astrology. So keep that in mind as we go forward as well. And the 12th house is really about spiritual healing. So if you've been struggling with that, well, this is a time where it's going to actually be a lot easier for you, especially going through this next year. Like, this next year is going to basically give you the opportunity, big opportunities, in order to figure yourself out, and also help figure other people out too. Like, this isn't just about you, this is about people coming to you because you have that knowledge, because you have the ability to do whatever that you are doing, and you're unique in that nobody else is in the 12th house this time, just you, Pisces. So yeah, enjoy this time. It is going to be very beneficial for you. And yeah, this first year is going to propel you into the next 20 years, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, whatever happens to you, just like take it in. If it vibes, it vibes. If it doesn't, you don't need it. Like, you're done with this emotional garbage, and you want good friendships, and those are coming to you. So that is very good. All right, Pisces, well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know, and check out your sun, moon, or rising sign, because that will also help you gain a more clear picture of all of the things going on right now. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, Pisces. I'll see you next time. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching this whole thing. If you watched this whole thing, you're a boss. If you didn't, well, that's fine, you didn't see this at all. Anyways, this next 20 years is going to be very intense. I am going to be here. I'm going to be delivering the astrology and the tarot and all the weird stuff, because that's what I do, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be trying to teach you guys, and that's my role. I am a Gemini sun, Cancer moon, and a Virgo rising. So I'm all about the serving others, teaching, and healing. And I mean, that's basically that's been my role for the last year as well. So I've already been stepping into this. I hope you step into your path as well, and we can all work with this together and for the better of the world. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and just enjoy the end of 2020 and into the new age of Aquarius. It is a fantastic time, and I'm so glad all of you are here. Love you all. Take care.